Who are you? Oh, that's a good question. Weren't your eyes purple? Thought her eyes were purple. Who are you? Who? Who? Oh, Kozue. No, never mind. I got a bad case of same face. I thought this was Nanami. But it's not. It's Kozue. Oops. The wound she wanted to forget. The past she didn't want to remember. Rotted tears? Okay. These came up with some stank. They poured up style, from her heart. She wanted to run away. She wanted to look away. She wouldn't have to see the mirror. But her body wouldn't move the way she wanted. The girl in the reflection wasn't crying at all. Oh, spooky Halloween style. Omae wa nan desu ka? Omae wa nan desu ka? I don't know. Man, that's a lot of questions. I can't answer all these. She seems to be struggling. Is any of that going to be on the test? I hope not. Gestaltzerfall? Gestaltzerfall. Okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, well. She got foregrounded. Just like when she'd lost the power to speak. Just like when her mind had broken. Oh, fuck. The person in the mirror, the one asking the questions, ceased to look like her. They look the same to me. She couldn't be sure of the sound of her voice. She couldn't be sure of the way her hair looked. If it makes her feel any better, I forgot what that shit looked like too. Like, I legitimately thought this was Nanami. If that gives you any indication of how I feel about all of these characters. It's not the shape of her nose, which is just like a little dot. She couldn't be sure of the color of her eyes. I mean, they're gigantic. She couldn't be sure of the thickness of her lips. Okay? To be fair, I don't know none of that shit neither. She couldn't be sure of her appearance. She couldn't be sure of her own face. I mean, yeah. That kind of falls under appearance, don't you think? Oh, cool. She got to multiply. The vision of herself in the mirror, which had threatened to split into countless fragments, was frozen in place by the sudden voice. I'm glad you were able to get over that in the course of 30 seconds. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Well, that was pretty crazy. I had all Stone Cold's music. Oh, fuck. I spilled my beer. Uh-oh. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I guess that's gonna... Hold, please. This will be fun for the YouTube. With this nonsensical shit. Fuck. Ay. Can't even believe this. Cleaning it. There we go. Not bad. There we go. Okay. Alright, Harpoon. You and me? We fighting. Ruining my stream. Unbelievable. Her identity solidified once more because it was in question for 35 seconds. A minute 35, courtesy of Harpoon IPA. Kozue came back to her senses. The huge mirror in front of her shattered, Stone Cold style. Kozue searched for the voice of the one who'd saved her. What? And there in the corridor, leading to the turnstiles, she saw him. She screamed his name with a voice she thought she had lost forever. Her real voice. Kozapi yelled, with her real voice, not the one from inside her mind. I realized it was the first time I'd actually heard her speak, and wow, crazy, it's the same voice. It was thanks to Kozapi that I was able to get this far. Was it? Really gonna put it on her? She hadn't really done a whole hell of a lot. I'd heard her screams for help all the way from the police box in Dogenzaka Hill. I followed the voice and found the two of them, Senna and Kozapi, trembling at delusions I couldn't see, and Hatano lying on the ground, covered in blood. I'd finally found him, and it was too late. That sucks. Hey, I am the villain out of fucking nowhere. Hooray! A man was standing near the railway crossing holding a gun. Pictured here. He was spinning it with his fingers like some kind of Old West gunman. Billy the Kid style. The man was wearing a suit, but he also had a backpack on, too. Pictured here. The machine inside was making an awful noise. Mamoru Sua, a detective assigned to Section 1 of the Metropolitan Police. I'd met him before. He wasn't cool enough to be in Section 9. That sucks. You could have a standalone complex as opposed to all of the complexes going on here. I knew what he'd done last summer and recently. Okay. Help yourself. Oh, thank you. I am ambivalent towards you. Alright. He had a grin on his face. The way he smiled reminded me of Bon, his partner. But the difference was this. Bon's smile was an act, either to make someone let their guard down or just piss them off. But Sua's sly grin was a reflection of who he really was. A cop. Sua shook his head and sighed. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Nobody in this game cares about you, though. The man formerly known as Bon. Come on, man. Grow up. I clenched my D-sword tighter. Just fucking stab this guy. Who cares? Yeah, fuck this guy. To somebody who's... Oh gosh, he got crazy style real quick. Just dilate the pupils, furrow the brow, all of a sudden, deranged. Oh, called him a virgin. That's gotta sting, right? As if anybody's ever been with this dude ain't drier than the fucking Sahara. Even from this distance, I could see it clearly. The way the smile disappeared from his face. And then, without taking a step from where he was, he waved the hand that wasn't holding the gun. Oh, does he have a D-gun? Thank you. Whoa. Oh, an impact. Pain. A sudden sensation. I looked in surprise at my shoulder and saw a cross-shaped object I recognized sticking out of it. No, it wasn't a cross. It was a stake. The cross-shaped stakes used in the crucified murder. It was so fast I hadn't even seen it hit me. In the darkness of the station, I hadn't even realized it was coming towards you. Did you fucking throw it? Just go like a dart? Sue had thrown it. Oh my god. And from that distance, with perfect accuracy. I tried touching it. It felt cold and smooth. Was it a delusion? Or real? The pain was getting worse. The strength was draining from my hands. The pianist was going wild on them keys. It was his D sword, okay. I was like, what the fuck is that? I couldn't hold my D sword anymore. Show what? Sua spoke in a cold voice that belied his anger. Alright. Cool. Let's see it. Stab, 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 stab. Another of the cross-shaped stakes appeared in Sua's hand. Is that his D-sword? Little fucking crosses? He flung it at... Wait a minute, he flung it at Takumi Nishijo. Why did perspective change? Barely keeping his raging anger in check. Pew, 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 pew. He's throwing them like little fucking shurikens, just pew, pew, pew. The stake ignored air resistance and all other physical laws. Okay, it's his D-sword. And it makes funny little... It goes... Makes little popping noises when it hits him instead of, like, you know, hitting a watermelon. Boing, boing, boing. Gah. It flew in a straight line and struck Takumi in the arm, like it had a will of its own. 15 had already hit. Not one had missed. Takumi's shoulder, his arm, his wrist, his hand, his hips, his thighs, his knees, his stomach. At least he avoided the cock. Blood was pouring from the deep wounds. It's like sweat, but blood. Another stake had already appeared in his hand. He threw it, too. Ugh. Ugh. It feels like I'm an all-powerful god. It feels like I'm an all-powerful god. It was a very strange sensation, I thought to myself. He can't even hear me, Sua thought. The pain from each stake felt real to me. Sua threw another stake as the helpless Takumi. As the helpless Takumi what? I'm just a normal person, but now I've got the same power as all of you. I'm just a normal person, but now I've got the same power as all of you. Every awful thing that was happening was because of the Noah 2 terminal in his backpack. Every wonderful thing that was happening was because of the Noah 2 in Sua's backpack. They're the same but slightly different. With that terminal, he didn't need to be close to Noah 2 to benefit from its power. With this terminal, he didn't need to be close to Noah 2 to benefit from its power. He would become an artificial gigalomaniac. He could become an artificial gigalomaniac. Sua had let the power take complete control of him. Sua had given himself over to this wonderful power. Sua was an insane fanatic willing to do whatever he had to for the sake of his leader and his church's teachings. Sua was a brave soldier, willing to do whatever he had to for the sake of his leader and his church's teaching. This power is a gift from God. This power is a gift from God. It lets me fight for the sake of the divine light, for the things I believe in. It lets me fight for the sake of the divine light, for the things I believe in. Sua threw another stake. Sua threw another stake. Alright, Buddy's got like 60 fucking stakes in him. He's like a little pincushion, like a little hedgehog. The stake pierced my neck. The stake pierced Takumi's neck. The pain threatened to tear my body apart. The pain was maddening. Sua's heart was filled to the brim with cruel joy. He wondered just how much pain Takumi could endure. Me, I could endure a ton. I just gotta press the A button. Like torture, death was gradually approaching. Like torture, Sua was gradually bringing him closer to death. This is fucking fucked. Ha. 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 Ha ha ha. I was helpless to resist. I tried to force what strength I had into my legs to keep from falling over. Takumi was helpless to resist, but he didn't fall over. More and more stakes hit my body. Suwa flung more and more stakes at his body. My chest, my stomach, my nails, everywhere on my body. Takumi's chest, his stomach, his nails, everywhere on his body. The thick, sharp stakes kept hitting me without mercy. The thick, sharp stakes kept hitting him without mercy. You're like an insect pinned to a collection board. You're like an insect pinned to a collection board. And not a rhino beetle or a butterfly. You're like a caterpillar or like a shitty pill bug. I don't know. What's a shitty bug? Oh, like a stink bug. Oh, fuck. Got him. I couldn't even stand now. Takumi couldn't even stand now. It was sheer strength of will that kept me from falling over. Suwa couldn't understand how he hadn't fallen over. Yeah, did he not read the previous sentence? This is a pure strength of will. 10% luck, 15% skill. Wait, that's not it. 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, and 50% pain, and 100% reason to please finish this game. But I wouldn't last much longer. He probably wouldn't last much longer. This is fucking terrible. I couldn't see. It was like there were censorship parts. My vision was censored. Make it 10 words or less. Oh my god. In this game, not possible. Suwa whispered to me with a victorious grin, gripping the next stake in his hand. Suwa whispered to Takumi with a victorious grin, gripping the next stake in his hand. Ha. 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 Ha ha ha. The next one would kill me. The next one would kill him. Fingers crossed. He was being honest. You ain't fucked. And your dolls don't count. Probably. I turned my eyes, filled with stakes, and glared at Suwa, using his voice as a guide. It sounded very far away. Takumi was looking at Suwa, the light almost gone from his eyes. The last one, the divine light, won't save you. I could sense the stake Suwa threw, ripping through the air in front of me. Suwa flung the stake in his hands. Didn't you know? The stake would be the fatal one. The stake would be the one that delivered the promised gospel. The stake would be the fatal one. The stake would be the one that delivered the promised gospel. Right in his butt. And the one it would kill was... What? There was a dull thud. The stake embedded itself deep within the forehead. A terrible, overwhelming pain boiled up from within Suwa's body. What? Suwa screamed a voiceless scream. I took a deep breath and ran my tongue across my dry lips. Suwa's entire body was covered with cross-shaped stakes. There was a single cross-shaped stake in my hand. He looked up to see a stake sticking out of his forehead. I looked up to see a cloudy gray sky. How's that, religious people? What did you do? I decided you threw the stake at yourself. You what? The melding of one delusion into another. An invasion of the mind. Like two ripples in the water canceling each other out. Like two wavelengths resonating. Intertwining with one another. Melting together. The causality he'd been creating had been altered. This altered the causality another created. I fucking hate this. They'd been switched. I'd switched them. It was impossible. Suwa couldn't believe it. I could see from Suwa's face that he thought it was impossible. He didn't believe it.
神の先兵ならメシアと同じように朽ち果てろ。
Oh. Very edgy, thank you. Takumi flung the stake aside. I flung the stake aside. Sua's vision rapidly... fucking Takumi ate fucking 30 of those things, and this guy takes one of them and he's down for the count. Damn.
それと
And another sting.
僕は救いなんかいらないよ。
Okay. I will have salvation. Alright, Yusa, how about a shave? Sua didn't say a word. He had died on his feet. Weak. A little bitch. I went back inside the station. Kozapi was looking at me in shock. From the look of it, she'd seen the whole thing, dude. And then she was like, whoa. Her leg was covered in blood, and it looked like she was in a lot of pain. Fucking get on my level.
大丈夫。
That's never Taijobu. She nodded several times, still lying on the ground. But she couldn't stand on her own. She looked up at me with shining eyes. Like, oh, that's Diamond Eyes. I was about to make a Shine Down reference, but I merged everything together. I killed that guy. Kozabi, you're talking normally, huh? Fue. She was looking at me in confusion, a finger on her lip. But she quickly had something more important to ask, it seemed. You don't need to ask that. That's none of your fucking business.
すごいよ。
Oh my god. Senna had said that ignorance was a sin, but I didn't think that was true. Ignorance helped you perfect a delusion. If you were ignorant, you could expand the delusion in any direction you desired. This is like a fucking Bible for involuntary people who do that thing, because you know the word I wanted to say, but I can't say it because Twitch is like weird about it. Or so it has been explained to me. It's probably not true. Not like I'm monetized anyway. You could create delusions you've never been able to make if you knew something was really like. Delusions are what virgins were best at. Alright. Come to think of it, where was... Keep that in mind, creative types. If you've had sex, you have no imagination. At least not on the level of Takumi fucking Nishijo. This fucking shit. I just want it to end. Senna was standing on the platform, body slumped, and at her feet was...
畑野さん。
Yeah, who cares? Issei Hatano, lying in a pool of blood. He wasn't moving at all. Even I... even I could tell he was dead. I hadn't made it in time. I thought that if I found him, he could tell me where Noah 2 was, but... Oh, that's good. At least he told you. Senna whispered, as if she'd read my mind. She was looking down at Hatano, at the corpse of her own father. Well, that was convenient. See, we all thought something was weird about that closed-off planetarium. Knew they weren't doing anything good there. Turns out it was the fucking delusion machine was kept there. Naturally. Arigato, Mr. Roboto. I wasn't sure if I should say anything to Senna or not. Rest in peace or congratulations. Either way, I ain't reading all that. She'd hated her father. She'd wanted to kill him. Her wish had been granted, but now she looked so sad and alone. Yeah, killing is not nice. I mean, he probably thought so. Senna's words were directed at her father. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Who is now gone forever. Also thanks.
お前は自分の罪を認めた。
How could you have committed suicide? I can't believe you've done this.
自殺したようなものだ。
Jam.
私は
A little brain for you.
お前を許さない。
セナさん、心が泣いてるの。
Remember, Kozue, you can talk now? People don't want to hear you.
本当はお父さん。
Still saying her little ticks, though. Just like Kozabi had whispered, Senna's strong, tough attitude was now completely gone. Now she was just some girl. Wah, sob. Wah, sob. She was sobbing. No shit. She fell to her knees right there. That's a busted kneecap for sure.
どうして私を一人にするんだ。
Meanwhile, all of her friends around her are just like, alright, guess I'll go fuck myself then.
セナ、
西条、お願い。
Go away. Senna looked up at me. Her face was wet with tears. There was no trace of the stern expression that had been there before.
ノア2を壊して。
It was the sad, broken face of a girl who'd lost her family.
僕を殺そうとしたくせに。君のお願いなんて
Yeah, fuck you.
不義理はないよ。
Fuck you and your dead family.
匠さん、
I told you this guy sucked. I turned toward the tunnel leading to Shibuya Station, leaving Senna and Kozumi behind with a fucking middle finger up and everything, just like, fuck you. Alright, two big gaping mouths. Oh, he's not talking about the girls. He would. The little bitch. I hate this guy. Beyond them only darkness. Passing through them would bring me to Shibuya via the shortest possible route. A straight line.
僕は僕のノア2を壊す。絶対に。
Yeah, Senna said something, I thought, but I wasn't listening. I'm ignoring her. Alright. I hate this guy so fucking much, dude. Ugh. Even seeing this fucking freak doesn't do anything for me. Kozo Inohana, member of the lower house of the Japanese National Diet, and Yudai Kuramochi, founder and leader of the Cosmic Church of the Divine Light, were looking at the huge machine in front of them with satisfaction. It was Noah 2, and it was giving off an eerie roar. And then I thought about money, and it didn't fucking matter.
調整には随分と骨が折れたよ。特にご協力に感謝し
Yes. Norase bowed to them shallowly.
だがこれが完成した今、5000人などちっぽけな数字でしかなくなった。
早くも影響が目に見えて出てきているよ。
The cultivation of mankind, huh?
これでいよいよ我らが世界を手に入れ
They're just trying to take over the world. I hate to use this joke, but of course. Inohana and Kuramochi looked at each other, sharing an unnerving grin. Norose watched them, unmoving and unblinking.
しかしノロセよ。貴様、なかなか興味深い趣味を持っているようじゃないか。
Wealth and taste?
何のことでしょう。
Please allow him to introduce himself. Inohana gave him a nasty smile. He jerked his head in the direction of the artwork next to Noah 2.
なんとも芸術性にあふれるオブジェだ。ぜひわしにも
What is this gonna be? Is it gonna be a painting? Is it one of those soup cans?
素材ならば
A nice Monet?
の中からえりすぐりを提供してもよい。
Perhaps a Van Gogh?
倉持先生は気前がいい。 あれは餌ですよ。
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 餌ですよ。
あれは餌ですよ。
餌ですよ。
あれは餌ですよ。
餌ですよ。
What is this gonna be? Is it gonna be a painting?
あれは餌ですよ。
餌
Bait. Oh no, it's gonna be a girl. Ew.
ノア2をより完璧なものにするための。
まあそういうことにしておこう。
それよりノア2が具体的にどれほどのことができるのか
What are you talking about? It's already created an earthquake that's killed 5,000. What more do you need?
もうそれはいい。早速やってみせたまえ。
Norose gave a small shrug. His face was still an expressionless mask.
ではこのようなものはどうですか？
Norose began speaking, and by the time his sentence was finished, the demonstration had already begun. Yeah, I was about to say he's gonna fucking kill these guys, right? Both Inohana and Kodamochi were suddenly holding pistols in their hands. Water pistols? It had happened without the slightest change on the part of Norose, or even Noah too. Sugoi.
まるで手品のようだよ。
Yeah, these guys are stupid.
手品と一緒にしてもらっては困る。その銃の存在は現実。
Inohana and Kodamochi stared at the weapons intently before giving a satisfied smile. This is my D sword, a Glock 9.
いかにも神をも
Yeah, this is what Kami-sama had in mind for sure.
この銃は記念にもらっておくとするか。
小物ですね。
Right. Nodose's whisper went unheard by the other two.
早速今後の計画を検討しよう。
まずは300人委員会の排除。
Whoever they are.
ノロセ、ご苦労だったな。
Whoever you are. The two went to leave the planetarium, both satisfied and pleased with themselves, but...
その必要はありません。
Fire. It's about to be the end for these guys. Thanks for coming, boys.
何？
Did they do a nani? Like this guy? You have to take a look at this fucking guy and be like, yeah, this guy's... Nah, he's not up to no good. Only then did the expression on Norose's face change. Look at this guy's fucking face. Look at his big fucking goddamn his fucking Party City dentures this dude is fucking wearing. Oh my god. Fucking Count Vampire here. This fucking Timu Vampire, this guy. Oh my god. His eyes narrowed, and he tilted his head very slightly to look at them from a height. He was looking down on them, so he went both in a physical sense and in sheer contempt. It's like me with this game. It's worse when he talks. Oh my god. Norase's words were completely polite, but both Inohana and Kodamochi understood exactly what they meant and were enraged. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Stupid asses. An amazing question. After the machine grants you a gun, you're like, this is better than God. And the guy's like, yeah, this is my machine. And they're like, what do you think, you're God? Yeah. Fucking stupid style. Oops. Norose was staring at both of them. The look in his eyes was one of pure disgust. His cold gaze, like he was looking at something filthy, could only mean one thing. This whole time he'd been using Inohana and Kodamochi for his own purposes. What? No way! Oh no. Oh boy. This is still going. It's still going. Oh, what is up? Hell yeah, this is great. Love this. At both of your deaths, I'm going to kill you. You call him a bastard. That's pretty good. Oh no, my shit's getting... There we go. Both Kuramochi and Inohana pointed their guns at Norose like, haha, you fool.
ざれ事ではなく
Bursts of fire erupted from the guns at the same time, and the noise of the gunshots echoed throughout the dome.
余地だった
Dipshits. But it wasn't Norose that collapsed yet, thank you, but Inohana and Kuramochi. For some reason, the two of them had pointed their guns at each other before pulling the trigger. How weird. Death was instantaneous. The two of them both collapsed, identical holes in their skulls. Neither were breathing. They were now just lumps of meat.
ノア2は我が鉄をくぶつに
Yeah.
その意味がお分かりにはならなかった
Norase's demonstration wasn't simply creating a pistol. He'd made the two of them think the other was Norose. That was also part of the demonstration, as well as their deaths. I'm gonna demonstrate to you your death. With Noah 2's power, it was simple. It's so simple. Norose turned his gaze to the artwork. There was Rimi Sakihata, hanging crucified on a cross-shaped object. Alright, pink-haired girl, you're gonna have to be a stand-in for Jesus. Rimi had begged him to let Nanami go, and he'd agreed, on the condition that she'd become his hostage instead. Nanami's psychological attacks had drained much of the life from her. Even now, she hung there helplessly. But when Norose approached, her shoulders shook just a little.
自分の
Yeah, he's a bitch.
あなたこそ
Yeah, get him.
区分
Oh! He slapped her. That's how you know he's the villain. Norose's palm struck across the cheek. Then he grabbed her jaw and forced her to look at him. Her expression was dead, but there was still a bright, burning light in her half-opened eyes.
なぜ西条匠に助けを求めないのです
Fuck you, man. Because nobody wants to call Takumi Nishijo. Nobody likes him. He whispered in her ear. Leave him alone.
どちらの彼のことを言っているのですか
二人とも
私としてはどちらか一人
Come on, just give off one. Give up one of them. Give me the shitty one.
二人とも化け物じみた力を
Monstrous.
彼らどちらかのコードサンプルが手に入れば神をも超える力を得る
Rimi looked down, pain on her face. Norose tore his hand away from her jaw, then looked up at Noah too, with a satisfied smile on his lips.
さあ呼びかけどちらでもいい私は
Just not collect. I'm not paying that charge. If anything, he was looking forward to it. Looking forward to Takumi Nishijo overcoming the trial that he'd laid out for him and coming here. Fuck. The D-sword was my light as I walked through the dark tunnel. I found myself walking faster. I'd never walked through a train tunnel before. I knew there weren't any trains coming, but still, I kept looking in front and behind me to make sure. The distance between Shinsen Station and Shibuya was less than a minute by train. It would be less than a kilometer away. Fortunately, the Inokashira line tunnel hadn't collapsed completely. It felt like I could make it to Shibuya Station without too much trouble. There was one thing bothering me, though. What Kozupi had said before I left. She'd told me this. Ha ha, you are a virgin.
たくさんのグモグモドロドロっていう意識がね待ち構えてるのら
Icky and Gwarmy, huh?
コズピー力になれないけど
Yeah, Kozupi's time in this story has reached its end.
気をつけてねたくみさん
Yeah, sure, whatever. Icky, Gwarmy minds, whatever that meant. I could assume they weren't friendly. I was starting to get scared. I was really lonely. I was here alone, in this pitch-black tunnel. The idea of something awful Reddit.com waiting for me terrified me. That's fair. A little Photoshop Friday? Eek. I thought for a moment about turning back and heading to Shibuya Station via the surface. It was a tempting idea, but I couldn't afford to lose that much time. I drove away the fear by thinking about Rimi's smile. Ah. I held the D-sword in front of me to light up the tunnel. The red light was eerie and just made me feel more afraid. Suddenly, something felt off. It felt like I'd caught a glimpse of something strange. I looked around harder to see what it could be. There, 10 meters ahead of me in the tunnel, I saw something sticking out of the ground. I looked closer. It wasn't sticking out of the ground. It was about 20 centimeters tall, and it was a Seiratan figure. What? What the hell was an anime figure doing here? It was completely out of place. This was a dark subway tunnel, a train line connecting two stations. Most people would never be allowed in here in their entire lives, and there, in the middle of the tracks, was an anime figure. I wonder if this could be a delusion of some kind. You idiot. It was my favorite version, too. The post-awakening version. And her chest was smashed in. Oh, no. Not the tetas. Was that my figure? The one I dropped in the confusion at Scramble Crossing? What was it doing here? And it was standing straight up, with a seductive smile on its face, looking at me menacingly.
なんでセイラが
ふーんタッキーにはそう見えてるんだ
I heard a voice. It was Seida's voice, the way I'd always imagined it in my head.
なんでもいいけどさ
Them tits don't look smashed into me. I don't think they had a sprite of this character with tits that were smashed in. In the time it took me to blink, she'd grown from a figure to a full human size. Oh. Now she's a real boy lady. Pinocchio. She shook her sexy body at me, just like a real human would do. What kind of real human, huh? To you? No fucking way. Her huge she's breasting boobily. Oh no. What's this my delusion? You think?
ねえタッキー遊ぼうよ
I heard a voice behind me in surprise. There's another Seiratan.
ミッチのことなんてほっといてさ
Yeah, just forget about her. Who cares? Not just behind me. To my left. To my right. Dude, this guy's dick's about to explode like a fucking cheap cigar. Oh, the Seidatans were multiplying. They were pouring forth out of the darkness. I don't want to lie, though. This Seida, I haven't said it at all. This Seida character has a terrible design. I watched them, feeling seriously creeped out. Yeah, fucking right. Before too long, the number of Seidatans had reached the 3 digits.
私と気持ちいいことしよう
The 100 Seidatans who really, really love you surrounded me, speaking in unison.
一緒ボケナス
Dork. One of the Seidatans to my front charged at me with a smile on her face. She had a huge hammer in her slender arms and she was swinging it at me. Hiya! The impact was real. When I blocked it with the D-sword, I could feel it travel through the blade and into my She'd hit hard. My hands felt like they were going numb. I could even feel the pain. And then I understood. This was real. It wasn't a delusion. All of them were real booted. All of them were my enemy.
遊んでくれないとぶっ飛ばしちゃうぞ
僕の嫁なら
My wife.
道を
やだ
Fuck you.
それなら
I just have to force my way through. I gripped the sword tight. The flames decorating the handle burned brighter. More red light started coming from the sword. I swung at her, at my wife. The blade had no weight. It traveled smoothly right along the path I'd wanted it to travel. And it sliced her in half. There was no sensation of cutting through flesh or bone. It barely took any strength at all. Seida's sexy body was cut clean in half, diagonally, and fell to the ground in a spurt of blood. Oh my god, even her organs were realistic. They were a nasty, glistening pink. Ugh. I looked away.
ごめんセイラ
That's all she gets. She got go, man. Wow. I killed my favorite anime character with my own hands. For an otaku, nothing could be more painful. Still, I had to keep going.
強い強いさすがタッキーそんなタッキーが好き
Slice.
気持ちよくして遊ぼうよめちゃくちゃにしてあげる楽しい楽しい
Alright. Each of the Seidas was saying something different. Their voices were a flood of sound that threatened to swallow me. I needed to stop thinking of them as Seida. I told myself that they weren't her. I sliced through the Seidas, blocking my path so that I could move forward.
どいてよ
He's just hitting up B, playing as Link in Smash Brothers. Just A flash of red light moving in an arc, a slicing blade in the darkness. I swung my blade horizontally and killed 4 of the Seidatons in a single motion. One of them grabbed me from behind. An arm wrapped around my neck in something like a sleeper hold. I could feel a large... Oh no! Those breasts are boobling all over my back! Another Seidaton tried to grab my leg. I stabbed the D-sword through her face. Her pretty smile melted, leaving a hole behind. It hurt to breathe. I was being strangled. I was going to suffocate.
浮気しちゃダメ
The metal club was right in front of my face. I spun around, changing places with the Seidaton strangling me. My back was to them both now. Gue. The one holding me relaxed her grip.
リミッチのことなんて忘れて
I shook the Seidaton, strangling me off, and then spun around again, swinging the D-sword. 3 Seidatons were running towards me. My sword severed their legs. Skiwo. They all fell forward at once, and I stepped over their bodies and kept going.
強い男って好き
Uh-huh. I brought the blade down on the Seida in the back, who was swinging her club around. She blocked it with her metal club. The weapon cut through the club and her brain. The D-sword wasn't really cutting anything. It was melting anything it touched. No matter how hard, no matter how soft, no matter how cold, no matter how hot. The sword burned through anything it touched, vaporizing it instantly. It was a chilling sight. Yeah, I'm chilled right now. Countless anime characters, all with the same face, all calling my name, all trying to kill me. Spear! I let out a bestial scream to give myself strength, and pierced the chest of the Seida to my front. Took that sword like a She grabbed it. Oh no. Her hand vaporized almost as soon as she touched it.
熱いよ
Yeah. Uh-huh. I was stunned. Fear. Fear welled up from deep inside my body and went directly to my cock for some reason. A horrid chill ran down my spine. My body was frozen in place. Rigid, one might say. Erect, if you will. This wasn't Seida. Seida would never try to hurt me.
タッキーのボケなす
You dumb little bitch. Oh, fuck. I heard the sound of some ribs breaking. I could hear a nasty sound coming from the bones in my right arm, too. An impact. Echoing from within my own body. It blew me backwards. And that's all it blew. I slammed into the wall. I hit my head hard. My vision started to go black. Alright. Her metal club came down at high speed and smashed into me. My left arm turned to meat paste at the elbow. Meat paste. It took a big chunk of the concrete wall with it, too. Yeah. Another club came at my legs. I had no strength at all in my right hand. Even moving it a little caused tremendous pain to echo in my brain stem. But I ignored the pain and slashed out with the D-sword anyway. It ripped through the club easily, and I could feel a scream slip from my lips from the pain. I leapt at the Seidatan in front of me. Oh wow, this didn't even say Seidatan. I'm just so used to saying it. Wow. I pushed the D-sword into her chest, again, and yanked it out. Seida's blood was all over my hands. Even though she was an anime character, her blood was still warm. My mind was going numb. The only thing I could feel was pain. I wanted to shut it out, but I couldn't, as long as I felt this pain. Ga, ha, 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 ooga. Thick red blood was pouring from my crushed left hand. Even holding the D-sword with my right hand was painful. My bones ached so badly, I thought I would pass out. I realized I was sweating from my entire body sweat. Here we go. The drops were getting into my eyes and making them sting. My vision was going blurry. The Seidas were rushing towards me, getting close. Their happy laughter echoed in my ears, shaking my eardrums. Suddenly a thought came to me. With these kinds of injuries, I might not last more than a few hours. I've been beaten to death with a club. I might not make it that long. But that's fine. I'm a delusion. Oh, yeah. By tomorrow, I'd disappear anyway. It didn't matter how badly I was hurt. And without you is how I disappear and live my life alone forever now. As long as I could save Rimi. As long as I could destroy Noah too. If they wanted to take part of my body, I'd gladly give it to them. Who wants the cock? So, the club came at me once more. I thought about dodging it, but the exhaustion and pain slowed me down. I thought, nah, fuck it. It hit me straight in the temple. Something hit my toes. Just need a bit of, I don't know, I was trying to take out the gunman. I could feel the massive spike embedding itself into my skull. Just need a bit of luck, get him up. The world shook. I blacked out. It was dark before, but now I couldn't see anything. Crazy. I rolled, and as I rolled, I checked to make sure the D-sword was still in my aching right hand, and tried to stand up with my crushed left hand. Exposed bone smacked into the bare ground. What felt like an electric shock ran through my body. For a second, I passed out. I woke up immediately. Hey, we're still here. My vision came back. My body was floating. My legs touched the ground. I used the centrifugal force from being knocked back to charge into the crowd of Seidas. I swung my right hand. Punch. My bones creaked. Blood spurted from the Seidas. The smell of blood hung in my nose. Was it my blood? The Seidas' blood? I couldn't tell anymore. It was all mixed together. I was covered in blood. Even my blurry vision had turned red. I kept lashing out with the sword. I didn't know how many I'd killed now. It was like a fucking Muso game. Goddamn. or how long it would take. Just elude them away. I felt like the Setas were multiplying infinitely. A Seta clung to my right hand. I flailed the D-sword, dragging her along with it. But she didn't fall off. She yanked my arm in an impossible direction. Gah. The bone jerked out from its socket. I couldn't move anymore. The D-sword was going to fall from my hands. I felt the vomit. Yeah, there we go. Puke and sweat. Here we go. I gagged on it. The taste of blood spread through my mouth. Maybe one of my broken ribs had damaged my organs. A million kinds of pain were devouring my body. I was going crazy. I wished. I couldn't stop myself from wishing. I wanted to be free from all this. I knew it was impossible, so I didn't expect it to work. Yes. A smiling Seda was staring into my eyes. I kicked her in the jaw, hard. Alright. And forced my rapidly numbing right arm to move as best it could. It felt like my nerves were being set on fire. My whole body was hot. The pain from the exposed bone had spread not just into my arm, but to my whole body, like my body was shattering. I heard what sounded like the scream of a dying animal. Now that's just like a fucking... I don't know what that instrument was. It was like a saxophone or something. I wondered whose voice it was before realizing it was my own. My fingers on my right hand moved, just a little. I picked up the D-sword, a delusion. An image of tying it with string. In an instant, it became real, and the D-sword was bound to my hand with a string. I had to go. To Rimi. Past this darkness. 'Cause you trying to kill me. The fuck? I spat out the blood that was pooling in my mouth. I was surrounded by piles of Seda corpses. More Setas were kicking them over to get at me. A ripple appeared in the pool of blood. I slowly shook my head. This is ridiculous. I bit down hard on my teeth. No. And right after that, all the Setas instantly turned to D. Pour one out. Pour one out into my mouth. The ones who were standing became life-sized pop-ups. It's a pop-up. Who were on the ground became Dakimakura covers. Oh, Dakimakura, that's isn't that a body pillow? I think it is. They'd returned to where they belonged, the two-dimensional world, and they never moved again. The end. He is saying that. Dust has to return to dust. He is saying that about anime character delusions. Oh, please. I bowed my head for just a little, as if in silent prayer. Pouring one out for the Setas. While a part of me was thinking that blood-stained Godot versions of a Seda Dakimakura were never going to sell. I still felt like I was about to pass out at any moment, so I bit down hard on my lip to stay awake. I started to walk through the dark tunnel once more. This is brutal. Inside an old building near Shibuya Station's east entrance. The rest of the buildings were either partially or completely destroyed, but this one wasn't. On its roof was a planetarium, one which had closed several years earlier. That planetarium's been abandoned for 30 years. I headed up the empty stairwell, gasping for breath, and went through the deathly quiet lobby into the planetarium itself. I gasped when I saw the huge device inside. The awe-inspiring sight of Noah 2, a chill that threatened to steal away my body's warmth, and next to it, a bizarre object that felt like some kind of artwork. Rimi. She seems fine. You doing all right? You can't get out of that? Dang. It was shaped like something like a cross, and Rimi was bound to it. She slowly looked up when she heard my voice. Our eyes met. Her eyes went wide. Ah.
どうして
Huh?
君を
Aw.
助けに
Her eyes went wide. Again? Still? Oh, she called him a baka. Oh, she called him a baka twice. Oh, a baka dayo. That's 3 bakas. That's a triple baka. She shook her head slowly.
そんなキスだらけになって
Yeah,
そんな
it's been a crazy day.
待っててって言ったのに
You relied on this fucking guy? To listen? Because. Because I love you. Because I love you, Rimi. Aw. But I couldn't say that. No. Covered in blood, with one arm crushed, I couldn't tell her I'd come to save her because I loved her. That would just be ridiculous. I was nowhere near being a knight in shining armor, and she'd probably think I was creepy anyway. I was basically a stalker creep otaku, right? Even if I told her how I felt, it would just be a nuisance to her. After this, she was going to live out the rest of her life. After this, I was going to die. All is right with the world. Telling her how I felt would do something. Who cares? I pressed the button too fast. So instead, I said something else.
君にこれを
I could barely move my right hand, the one with the D sword strapped to it. I struggled and strained to move my fingers, pulling a handkerchief from my pocket. It was a soft red. I couldn't tell if it was that shade of red to begin with, or if it was stained with my blood. Yeah, this was white when I bought it. It was the handkerchief Rimi had given to me. It didn't smell like flowers anymore.
僕は
That's rough, buddy.
君をここから助け出して
This is only ending A. There's no fucking shot.
この圧を壊してこのハンカチを
Uh-huh.
返すんだ
That's all I could do. And once that was done, I'd have no regrets when I disappeared. And honestly, I didn't think I could do anything more than that. All my senses felt like they were going numb. Maybe the pain was so bad that my brain had shut off sensation from some of my nerves. I could barely move my body. More and more blood poured from my arm. My eyes were blurry. I felt so cold, like I might pass out the second I let my guard down. Could you speak up?
君は実
Haha, here am I. Is he fucking beating the bishop over there? Cut it out. A tall man, Genichi Norose, stepped out from behind the shadow of Noah too. He was clapping. Oh. But there was no expression on his face.
しかし致命的なことが一つあります。
Oh?
行動原理が感情に根ざし
You are too horny.
それは野蛮
Eh? I couldn't really understand what he was saying. They cut off my ear, man. It was all I could do to process the pain. I couldn't deal with any words except Rimi's.
逃げて
Now,
小を犠牲にして大の利益を守る
you can't say that.
それを悪だと思いますか
Yes.
私はそうは思いません
Fuck you. Look at you with your big fucking goofy ass teeth. Ain't nobody care what you think.
このままでは人類はいずれ滅び去る
Uh-huh.
人の欲望によって
Uh-huh.
ってあまりにも醜い心
Uh-huh.
あまりに利己的な欲望の洪水
Yeah.
人の社会はすでに破綻し
Yeah.
誰もが己のことしか考えずその結果殺し合い
Uh-huh.
いや君もギガロマニアックスとして覚醒したのなら見たはずですよ
Yeah, totes.
私は幼い頃に覚醒したためもう何十年という間
Well, you seem well adjusted.
300人委員会は人類の自滅を阻止するためという大義名分のもと The
cattle. Well, we're running out of cows and we gotta do something about the methane. I honestly thought he said satiate their own eggs. I must satiate my eggs. I'm going to satiate the eggs. No. Can't restore the worker to his former glory. Can't saw the tables of tyranny in half. Dismantle this oppressive establishment board by board. Do you remember that Christmas song? War is over. That's what I want. No one would look down you anymore. Dang. He hit him with that John Cena fine speech. I almost fell and spent all my strength trying to keep myself upright. I'd been lucky. He'd given me a chance to rest for a little. Not that I'd heard all of what he said, but what he was saying was probably best for humanity's future. It was probably a wonderful thing. Subarashi and all that. Norose was the CEO of a huge company, a good, just man concerned with the well-being of all humanity. Yeah, like a CEO. And I was a monster, a loser, a creepy otaku, just here to save a girl for the sake of my selfish ego. Normally, I'd be the bad guy here. Over the CEO, are you sure? The monster would be defeated, and the good and just would win. But... fuck you. Hell yeah. Norose kept his eyes on me as he grabbed Rimi by the collar and pulled her down. Gah! He reached out toward the strange artwork. And then in an instant... look at this fucking thing. The thing attached itself to Norose's hand. It was no artwork. No cross to crucify someone on. Oh my god, it was a D-sword. And far too huge to be called a sword. Cruel. Cold. Spreader of terror. That's how I call my sword, Spreader. It looks like it would be a spreader, too. That thing's going right up the chute. Tainted gospel. Yeah. Pandemonium chaos. Tyrannical blasphemy. Evil, pure and clean. Like a gate to hell, stealing away the hearts of all who saw it, and driving them in a cycle of eternal torment. I mean, it's a sword. All of the world's ills mixed and made manifest. This is all the world's ills made manifest. I was just trying to enjoy a succulent Chinese meal. I gulped once, in fear. But I'd made my decision to come here. I held the D-sword up. It was still attached to my hand by the string. And I took a step towards Noah, too, which meant getting closer to Norose. The reach of his weapon was far longer than mine. He was OP. Alright, Norose was tall, but the blade was far taller than him. He swung it at me with one hand. It was a heavy strike that threatened to crush anything in its path. My arm was slow to respond. Just tensing it up made pain go shooting through it, but I forced myself to raise my arm anyway. And I blocked his D-sword. A normal blade would have shattered in pieces from the impact, especially since mine was so thin. It was the opposite of a massive weapon in his hands. But the D-sword didn't break. Somehow I managed to deflect Norose's first attack. My hand went numb. Without a left hand, I couldn't keep my balance. I almost fell backward. It almost knocked me away, but I somehow endured. And blocked his second attack. He was fast. Far faster than me. Don't let the way the swords look deceive you, I told myself. A battle of strength. A tiny, delicate sword, and a powerful, vicious one. For now, I was matching him blow for blow. You know, something else that blows. But there was no telling how long that would last. Oh God, Nani! That's a Nani face right there. Oh, never mind, he ain't Naniing that much. A fourth strike. The swords collided. He changed the way he was holding the blade. It looked like he was holding the grip of the sword tighter. His D-sword began to vibrate. There was an eerie sound as it transformed. The edge of the blade opened like scissors as it raced toward my chest. I'm going to cut you like Christmas wrapping paper. I realized too late that this change would prove to be a fatal one for me. Resistance! I brought the blade down in front of me, but it was too late. Ah. The two ends of the blade stabbed into my chest. A cruel smile appeared on Norose's face. He relaxed his grip, and the two pincers drew closer. Gah. They tore through my chest, my ribs, my lungs, my body. I forced myself to take a step back. Stagger style. Norose swung his arm up to the side. I saw fresh blood spurt out in front of my eyes. The pain ran through my whole body. I'd thought my senses had all gone numb, but the pain was so bad, I wanted to scream. I clenched my jaw and tried not to pass out. My chest was torn open, sliced into mincemeat. If I hadn't taken a step back, he would have gotten my heart. Not my heart. Blood spurted everywhere. Gah! I almost fell, but I stayed on my feet. I can't die. I can't make it all the way here and then die. I ignored Norose. I headed toward Noa 2, where Rimi was collapsed. Rimi lifted her head just in time for me to drench her with all my fucking chest blood. She was probably exhausted and weak. She probably couldn't stand. I mean, she hadn't taken as much damage as me. Either from exhaustion or my injuries, my vision was all blurry. I couldn't tell what the expression on her face was. I couldn't look her in the eye. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want her to see me like this, covered in blood, getting my ass kicked. I still had some tiny, miserable sense of pride. I was going to die either way, but it still mattered to me how I looked to her. I could look cool. 'Cause I've definitely been cool this whole time. I kept going toward Noa 2. I was close enough to hit it with my D-sword. Strangely, Norose wasn't following me. And then a melody filled the dome. Turianse. Noa 2 rose high in front of me. The sound it was making grew higher in pitch. Something strange and unknowable was working within its terrifying mechanisms. I paused for a moment in fear, but then slowly raised the sword to my waist, and then I aimed for the tube-covered, almost organic object in front of me. I swung the sword. Shrill. Suddenly I realized Noa 2 had disappeared from my vision. For some reason I had my back to it. I just tried to destroy it. I hadn't turned away from it at all. But I was facing away from it nonetheless. Oh my god, it's fucking Severance style. Norose was in front of me, right where I'd seen Noa 2 in my blurry vision a moment ago. I turned around and swung the D-sword again. But even though I thought I'd turned around, I hadn't. I'd had the intent to turn around. I'd made the motions to turn around, but I hadn't actually turned around. I was confused. What's going on? His quiet voice echoed through the dome. It mixed with the melody of Turianse.
近づく者の心に干渉し
Yeah, cool.
ノア2には誰も近寄れません
Then how are we even... Oh, you can. Never mind.
私以外
He finished speaking and walked over to me with steady, elegant steps. He slowly raised the massive D-sword above his head. I gripped my teeth. I'd lost too much blood. I couldn't think. But still, I raised my almost entirely numb right hand which could barely move from the pain, and tried to ready myself for his next attack. The D-sword was only tied to my hand with string. The intense impact knocked it away. It went rolling along the floor, far away from where I was. I watched it fly away from me in shock. And when I turned my gaze back to Norose, I could see him chuckling. The melody had changed. It's annoying now. One that seemed to be warning of something.
君の存在を否定してあげ
Oh,
ましょう
thank God it stopped. He was readying his next attack. He was about to bring it down. His D-sword was far too destructive, far too violent, far too powerful. And I was unarmed. I had nothing to block his attack with. I was helpless. Oh no, he stabbed a watermelon. Rimi ran between the two of us. I could feel her soft body against my face. Rimi's chest. Why your eyes go right there, huh? She'd wrapped herself around me. She was protecting me. With her chest. Norose sighed, softly, before lowering the blade. Rimi had saved me again, even though I was the one who'd come to save her. I was so pathetic. Frustrated and angry, I slid my right hand between the buttons of her blouse. What the fuck? Here? Now? I could feel the warm, slight... Oh, this is very much not the time. The pain of the wound in my chest, the pain of my severed left arm, the pain of my dislocated right shoulder, the pain of my injured lungs, and the fact that I could barely breathe. The warmth made all of them go away. That's not what Incubus was singing about, was it? I now watch the warmth go away. Rimi's underwear. Rimi's bare skin. What? I am the pervert master 5000. Ha ha. Why he doing this? What the fuck? Yeah, this ain't cool, man. What the fuck?
こんなのやだよ
Me neither. What's up? Even after I let go, she covered her chest with her hands, sobbing sadly. Yeah, she tried to say, why? What the fuck?
本当は先畑リミを犯したいんでしょ
You what? Who was the voice? It was me. It was the voice of my heart, my real feelings.
ここで物にしておかないと将軍に寝取られちゃう
This ain't good.
あんなしわくちゃ野郎にリミはやられちゃうんだよ寝取られる
What the freaking fuck?
まあもうすでにやられちゃってる可能性もあるけどさ
My true feelings were whispering me, stop it. Don't say those things. I don't think any of that stuff. I wanted to put my hands over my ears, but I couldn't. I don't have any hands. Rimi was crying. She was too much of a mess to even fix her clothes. Looking at her made me feel a crushing pain in my heart.
片思いでいいとか
You should cut your fucking cock off, brother.
犯しちゃえって
No, no.
ノロセはそれをする時間ぐらい待
No, he won't. No, no.
僕はもうすぐ死ぬんだ。やりたいことやって死のう。
I don't like this.
僕のこのかわいそうな境遇ならここでちょっとひどいことや
This was my delusion, a bad habit of mine. So I needed to make sure I didn't listen, make sure it didn't influence me. My weak heart was trying to lead me to take the bad way out, the easy way out. But right now, I couldn't listen to it.
リミは僕に同情してくれ
No. Oh, yoy, yoy. I yelled to break the weakness in my heart, to blow it away. Blow it away! Fortunately, the voice disappeared. Rimi wasn't crying anymore. She'd been covering her face with her hands, but now she lowered them. She gave me a cold glance of disgust.
つまんない男
Die. That one word was enough to fill my head with black emotions. I went to throw myself at her when... Yeah. Nice boat, bitch. Aga. A huge stake burst through the concrete floor. Its pointed tip stabbed right into my crotch. Yes. Ha 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 ha. Fucking bitch. Aga. I couldn't understand what was going on. I don't care. You fucking deserve it. My legs left the floor. I couldn't escape. The stake worked its way deeper and deeper into my body. The pain was unbelievable, but not enough to kill me. The stake kept growing taller until it lifted me a full meter off the ground. Jesus, fucking Silent Hill the movie style. The slightest movement caused intense pain in my crotch. I couldn't move an inch in my crotch. I wanted somebody to save me. I looked down at Rimi with pleading eyes, but she ignored me, walked over to Norose, and then she crouched down like she was exhausted. Both Rimi and Norose were watching me in my ugliness. They were just watching me expressionlessly. Neither tried to help. Yeah, why fucking should they?
知っていますかかつて拷問刑として串刺しは世界
We fucking vlatted you, buddy boy.
この拷問の特徴死ぬまで3日ほどかかると自らの体重によって徐々にその杭は体に食い込んでいくそれにより臓器を傷つけることがなく最終的に杭の先端が口や肩から突き見守っていてあげますよ
Alright. Yeah, I got nothing better to do? Ain't no shows you gonna watch? Any appointments you gotta make? Grocery shopping? You're gonna eat? You're gonna take some... Alright.
その前に胸や腕の傷のせいで
This was a delusion. He was attacking me with a delusion. I kept telling myself that. The real me wasn't being impaled. I was simply standing in front of Noah too. Getting her fucking dick stomped, hopefully. I was hallucinating. That's what I believed. That's what I had to believe. 3 days. 72 hours. 4,320 minutes. 259,200 seconds. If I could endure that, the delusion would end. It would have to end. It would be so much easier if I could fall asleep or pass out, but unfortunately, I had a big stake in my crotch. The pain wouldn't let me. That's what made this such an effective method of torture. Aga, haha. If this kept up, I was gonna go crazy. Just a moment ago, I'd been planning to find some way to endure it, but now I felt nothing but Zetsubo. The thought of the long hours that waited for me until my death drove away any emotions except despair. I wish he'd just kill me. How much time had passed? There were no clocks around me. I couldn't tell. I wanted to see a clock, but if I did, the slowness of the seconds passing would break me. I gripped my teeth. A waterfall of sweat was pouring off my body. My throat felt parched. I quenched it with the blood that would sometimes work its way up from my stomach. Tasty. And inside my body, I could feel the stake working its way gradually up, digging deeper inside me. I could feel it inside me. It was a countdown to death. At some point, it would work its way through what remained of my chest, come through my windpipe and out of my mouth. Ah, whoa. Almost spilled that. Yeah. The pain and fear were making me crazy. Every 5 minutes I would pass out from the pain and wake up again. What I learned from that was when I passed out, my body would relax and the stake would go faster. Of course, the pain would get vastly worse, and then the pain would wake me up. I would writhe from the pain, unable to move, and then, to escape from it, I would pass out. This horrible cycle repeated again and again. Oh my god. Even when I was awake, my vision was blurring. For some reason, the pain felt a little better. My vision was dim. He's dim. Why is this still fucking going? I thought that maybe it was night, but there were no windows in the dome. That couldn't be it. It was probably from lack of blood, I thought. There were very small amounts of blood trickling from my chest and my left arm. If only more would come out, I could die an easy death from blood loss before the stake killed me. I had the idea of trying to move my crushed left arm, the one that no longer existed below the elbow, but it wouldn't move. The nerves were probably already dead. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ba 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 ba. Boo 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 ba boo 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 ba bo. Bibi ya ba ba ya. Fue. Was this really a delusion? When would it end? That's what I'm fucking asking, man. Would it end? That's what I'm fucking asking, man. What proof did I have to begin with when I thought it was a delusion? How could I tell it was a delusion? What if it was real? I could endure it all I wanted, but I'd still just die. There was no point in trying to endure it at all. So why was I doing it anyway? I was a moron. Agreed. An idiot. Yep. Total baka. A total idiot. I just said that. Die. I meant that too. It wasn't just something I was saying. I should just die now. Please? I'm sick of the pain. Me too. Sick of the suffering. Me too. I should just bite my tongue clean off. Go for it. Then it would all be over. Yes. Just let me go. I'd love to. This is a delusion, right? Yeah. Let's go. More blood came from my chest. I ceased to be able to breathe. Oh? No matter how much I tried to suck in oxygen, all I did was make a strange, ridiculous whistling sound with my throat. I could see the stake poking up through the wound in my chest. I spat out blood. I opened my mouth again and again in search of oxygen. I felt relieved I could die soon. Yeah, me too. I heard Nodose's voice. I could sense him right in front of me, but he was nowhere to be seen. My eyes couldn't see anything now. I'd been suffering, impaled on the stake for so long that I'd totally forgotten about him and Remy. Was Remy still nearby? It didn't even matter, though. I was busy trying to breathe. For a while now, I'd been using all of my strength and nerves to do that. Yeah, alright, I didn't understand what he was saying. I didn't have time. I don't got time for that. Yes. Yes. That's alright. Ah. He poked a watermelon. I could hear her dying screams. I heard the sound of somebody falling. She'd been shot. And killed, I thought. I felt no emotion. I was busy, and I don't got time. Now back to my job, trying to breathe. And then I was stunned at myself. You really? That's what stunned you about your behavior to this point? Not the other thing that you did? What was the point of this? Why was I trying so hard to breathe? This wasn't fair. I felt something hot run down my cheeks. Maybe I was crying, but I had no way to know. I'd hung in here for 3 days, and I was almost at the end, and I'd lost her. Sorry, Remy. I'm the one who should apologize. I couldn't protect you. Bah! There's no sense in living anymore. I released all the tension in my body. I could feel myself sinking faster. Something was in my throat. Couldn't breathe at all. It was rising up. Oh, go. Ga, 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 ga. I came back to my senses. The sense of having something inside my body disappeared. I wasn't impaled. Damn. The only blood was on my chest and left arm. How much of that had been a delusion? Oh my god, that was all a delusion. You don't fucking say. My brain's processing speed couldn't keep up, couldn't understand what was going on. Norose was in front of me, D-sword held high.
帰ってきました。あなたが体験した3日間は現
やっぱり
You don't fucking... Come on, man. I whispered, relieved. Norose's D-sword came down like a hurricane. My top half fell away from my bottom half. My vision tilted. From the waist down, I was still standing. From the waist up, I was falling. My body had been sliced in two. The cut was unbelievably clean. What a clean cut. Ah. I stared at my lower half, confused. I didn't want to admit this could be real. Was this a delusion? Hoped it was a delusion. Please be a delusion. Rimi was calling my name. She sounded so sad.
その状態でも死ぬまで元意識
Cool.
が私が言うのだから
Alright.
その間に行動
Sure. I crawled. I moved my body forward using just my right hand towards Rimi's voice. I wanted to touch her. No, no, no. I had to save her. Rimi. Right hand forward, forward, forward. I stretched out. But I didn't know where Rimi was. I couldn't reach her. I couldn't reach anyone.
しぶとい男
Crouch. The sound of cracking bones. Norose's leather shoe had come down hard on my extended right hand.
さすが化け物と言うべきです
The tale of a man and a monster.
そのノロセの足が蜃気楼のように揺れた。床のタイルの模様がぼんやりとし始めて、天地が回転する。床と天井が逆になる。僕は天井に這いつくばっている。
Shit is still fucking going.
両断された腰からものすごく
いや
深いにした蛇口のよ。血が体からそのまま腕の傷口を意識がスーッととても完全に血だまりができて
Uh-huh.
僕は
Whoa.
シンクの海に身を横っとくん
Cathud,
鼓
cathud.
動する心臓が僕の目の前に血だまりに波紋をその波紋をぼんやり見ていたら僕の形が崩れた人としての形を維持できない僕と世界との境界が肉が溶け骨がゴムのように曲がり眼球は四角になり
Eyeballs became square.
口から裏返った肺がこぼれ出し神経は数万キロメートルも引っ張る
Yeah.
シワの一つ一つを手体は
He turned his brain flat. Oh no, they made him smooth-brained.
空気に溶けていく
Yeah, huh?
右手が糸のように伸びて
Sure.
プラネタリウムを
Whoa.
それはアメザー
Whoa.
渋谷の空を
They didn't even need to bother to do that one.
コーネリアスタワーに
Uh-huh.
巻きつく何度も何度も何度も別れた足が膨れてるブクブクと
Plump, plump.
水風船みたいパンパンに皮膚ギチギチ音を
A
立てて
screech sound.
液状化
Uh-huh.
も
My meat and my bones.
とろけて
Oh no, not my meat and my bones.
ふくらはぎに溜まってる
Ah,
から
pop.
ニョキってち
あは
りりとした白い目が僕を見た
My.
そしたら僕の頭が
Splurt.
ぐしゃって潰すどっちの頭から僕は潰れてトロトロ
What do you mean by that?
ビルの床コンクリート落ちていく地上へ
All the way. Why
打って
is this still fucking going,
地
man?
面に作るどろりとした
Ooey gooey brains.
も
Icky
ぞ
squirmy. Rustle, rustle, chew, chew, slurp, slurp, ooey gooey, shake, shake, bounce, bounce, drip, drip, splurt, splurt, crunch, crunch.
僕は二つになる
Oh fuck.
二つが四つ
Oh wow. Oh my god.
八つが四つ二つが八つに四つ つがよどんどん増えどんどん減る僕がいっぱい僕は僕
Annoying is what you are.
何って僕何区がナボに
Huamati.
ナボ
Hua.
に
Ti.
なく
Ma.
お
Tai.
な
Oh.
君は妄想なんかじゃないよ。
Fuck off.
れ
見
Ha.
てごらん。
西条七海が兄と共に収容された病院。実の兄のしわくちゃの手右手の痛みに耐えて目を閉じて祈るもう一人の兄の無事を。楠木優愛が祈る。
They're praying for the worst character ever.
崩壊したビルの瓦礫。彼の美少女フィギュアの一つに地震と火事で醜く変形してしまったフィギュアたち。目を閉じて祈る。彼女を許してくれた。岸本綾瀬が避難所となっている生命学園。神話が書かれた文庫本を握り崩壊した渋谷を覆う。
She don't even like know this guy. What she don't pray for him for?
目を閉じて祈る。彼女の歌を彼女の話を。折原梢が新鮮駅の青い瀬名の足の傷の痛みに耐えて目を閉じて祈る。心の声で語り合った。
That's all she got. Like, I mean, we go to school together. That's something.
青い瀬名が横たわる。
Yeah,
父の
The entire harem is praying. I get it, bro. Please, just please let this end.
彼女の
Oh my god. In his own awkward way.
リミが冷たい床に横たわ彼へ伸ばした自らの傷だらけの彼の姿を見て目を閉じて祈る。
You better not tell her about that delusion, though.
自分が
She might want to know about that.
自分を助けに来てくれた少年の無事を。
Yeah, ain't nobody praying for this shonen. No fucking way.
君が行動。その結果として、
Yeah,
君と周囲共通認識は特にこれからは君こそが。
僕は君は誰？僕はその声が聞こえた瞬間に意識が
Whoa.
ぐちゃぐちゃにかき回されていた。
Yeah.
混沌は僕のディスク
Whoa.
の形づ僕は
My regular ass needle. This is fucking Sting.
世界は世界として僕は
I am me. Oh, cool. This is the ED. You know this is the end of the anime because it's playing the intro music. Wounds healed, top and bottom connected. Whoa. Pain was gone. My heart is at
妄
peace.
想によく打ち勝ったね。僕の
Hooray. Alright, I could see Rimi in the corner of my vision. She was safe. She was looking at me, she was crying. Of course she was. Don't cry. I gripped the D-sword. Time to kill bad guy, man. Let's go.
これはこ
Yeah, Bakemono. Yeah, let's go.
確かに
Yeah, this is to save Rimi to destroy Noah too. Alright, come on.
妄想だ。
Let's fucking go. Nodose's response was fast. Not fast enough. He still didn't have Takumi Nishijo's code sample. He thought he'd pushed the boy to the brink with a delusion attack, but now the tables. Oh, the turns have tabled. He couldn't let that happen. Nodose charged. He brought his D-sword up from below. He sliced it across Takumi's chest. The D-sword could cut through anything. It didn't matter what it was. Cutting through a human was no more difficult than cutting through jelly. Ski-wo. Nodose's lightning fast attack had sliced Takumi in two. But there was no blood. Takumi's lower half almost fell. But it didn't. It was still standing. Ski-wo. and in the next moment, it regenerated, uninjured as if it had never happened. And then he regenerated. The body that had been sliced apart just a second ago had already grown a new head, a new right arm, and a new right shoulder.
通覚は遮断した。
Oh, wow, that's convenient. Takumi took a step, Norose grimaced, flipped that shit.
肉体の形を捨てたいかなる形をも取れるということです。
He has become water, Bruce Lee style.
あんたの見せてくれた妄想のおかげだよ。
He hadn't been able to maintain his shape as a human, but he had taken the delusion and made it his own. He wasn't regenerating, he was replenishing. The lost parts were made from the infinitely multiplying dust inside him, formed into flesh and bones. Meanwhile, Kanako Ito going ham in the background. Good for her, his shape wasn't fixed. Like an amoeba, like a slime. He was a slime, alright. That was why he called himself a bakemono. His legs took another step toward Norose. Norose's frustration increased. He held the grip of his D-sword and stabbed it out towards the approaching Takumi. The huge scissors stretched out towards either side of the boy's head. He crushed it, as one would smash a watermelon. Yeah, I heard it. Blood spurted everywhere, but Takumi's body kept going forward. The regeneration replenishing only took an instant. When his foot touched the ground, as if nothing had ever happened, as if it had been replaced with a new one. His head was there, and undamaged. Norose understood. He couldn't win. This shit's over. Pack it in, buddy. No physical attacks with his D-sword could be effective. His enemy had taken his delusion attack, his attempt to deny their existence, and turned it to their advantage. In this moment, Takumi Nishijo was so far beyond human, so twisted in existence, so perfect, a monster. But Norose couldn't give up. I give up. Good God, why won't this end? You know, nothing could withstand the collision with antiparticles without turning it. Oh my God. Ugh.
そうなんだね。
Takumi had read Noruse's thoughts. Nani. The light changed from red to black. Black flames shrouded the blade. It roared, it stretched out. It was as if it was a lava lamp.
そして現れる
It wandered the room, too big for the dome. It scraped against the roof, it scraped against the floor, as if it was eating away at them both. Oh my God. This is eating away at me. I can't.